Hi everyone, I'm Anthony and I'm Head of Education for IdHAIR UK. So in this video today we're going to create some bespoke formulas using our colour bomb system. So the first formula we're going to create is a really deep, rich, reddy brown, and we're going to do that by mixing our dark brown colour bomb with a little bit of fire red. So I'm going to do 2 parts dark brown to 1 part fire red. So don't forget, colour bomb can be applied to damp hair or dry hair. So we're going to apply it to dry hair this time, just to get a little bit more of an intense result, to give us that really rich, deep brown. So again, it's important not to overwork the product, so that we don't disrupt any of the pigment in there. So try not to emulsify it too hard or to work it too rough with your brush. So we're going to let that process for 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll take it off and we'll check back for the results. So the next shade we're going to create is a really dusty pink, and we're going to do this by using smoked lavender and power pink. So we're going to do 2 parts power pink to 1 part smoked lavender. Again, just making sure not to overwork the product and disturb the pigments too much. So we're going to let that process for 15 to 20 minutes, and we're going to rinse and remove and then check back for the results. So the final formula we're going to create, we're going to mix together the smoked lavender with the silver grey to create a really smoky lavender, and we're going to mix these in equal parts. So again, we're going to apply it to dry hair to get maximum deposit. We can help it deposit even more if we want by adding in Niaplex number 1. That'll give you a more intense result. Or if you just want it to use it to refresh existing colour, you can apply it to damp hair. If I'm using a colour bomb to create like a silver or a grey, I always like to add a little bit of smoked lavender in. Because we're working on a swatch that's already yellow, if I just go in straight away with the silver grey with it having that amount of blue in, sometimes it can look a little bit khaki. So by adding that little bit of violet in, it neutralises the yellow in the background to give me a really true silver or true grey. So again, we'll let that process for 15-20 minutes, rinse and remove, and then we'll come back and look at all 3 results. So we've removed the colour from the swatches, and I'm really pleased with how they've turned out. So the first formula that we created was the fire red and the dark brown to create a really rich, deep, intense brown. Perfect to refresh your brunettes. The second formula we created was the dusty lilac by mixing smoked lavender with power pink. Great for a fashion colour and it's really vibrant. And then the third formula we created was the true silver. So we've done this by mixing smoked lavender with silver grey. Now, just to recap, the reason that I like to add smoked lavender into my formulas when I'm creating a grey or a silver is because it's got that little bit of violet in there, so it knocks out the yellow in the background. Obviously, to make a silver or a grey, we need to use quite a lot of blue. So if we add that blue to a pre-lightened hair that's already got a lot of yellow in there, yellow and blue, make green. Having that violet in there neutralises the yellow in the background to create a really true silver or grey.